video up on YouTube as well. So this will end up being slightly public. So I am going to share my screen. So can we do the famous words? Can you all give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen, or sort of choking to death on your cigarettes? Yeah, excellent. Okay, you can see my screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the new ITQ role in Netacad. So in February, Eka Rantanen, in one of the ASC events, announced that they were changing the way that they were going to do instructor train the trainer, or instructor training. From February until Convergence in August, they were only going to allow one or two extra individuals from ASC's ITCs that had ongoing training to get upskilled. So myself, Nitesh, and somebody else did that because it was important that we carried on with our ongoing free instructor training and some other outreach we're doing. But from August onwards, from late August onwards, they were going to completely change the rules and the requirements in a very, very positive way, which enables us now at the OU ITC, the Open University, to sort of change the way that we wanted to do things years ago. I had my opinions about the way that they changed things in 2012 through to 2024. Not all of them very positive, but it's nice to see that things have changed in a way that I would say the way it's being done now is possibly a better way for everybody. So I think, because we've got quite a range of individuals here, I think it's quite useful to sort of just give a super fast potted history. I've been involved in Netacad now for over 25 years, man and boy. And yeah, I've seen things done different ways, and yeah, different benefits and disadvantages of each. In the old original Netacad model, it was very much central academy, regional academy, local academy, and centrals and regionals could teach the academies beneath them in the pyramid structure. That meant that anybody who qualified as a Cisco instructor and became accredited to teach students, if they were put into a regional or a central, could teach teachers at regionals or locals under the old language. Then from 2020, well, actually it was from 2013, I'm going to edit that on the fly, from 2013 until about 2024, instructor training centres came along. It was then ASCs, ITCs, and Cisco academies. ITCs had to have ITQs, instructor trainer qualified, where you had to be accredited to teach the subject, then go on a training course that was ratified by a technical manager from Cisco. The problem with that, in my opinion, was it restricted growth, restricted the number of instructor trainers, and stopped the scalability of the program. It might have done some things from the quality perspective, but it restricted things from the scalability perspective. Now, as of August from 2024, we're more or less back to the pre-2013 model, where ITCs can now add any trusted instructor. Hello, everybody in this call, and those of you watching the recording, where I can add you to my ITC, and based on your accreditation to teach, that if you've got CCNA ITM, or CyberOps, or DevNet, or NetSec, or anything else, if you're accredited to teach that to students in an ITC, you can now teach staff and colleagues to this. And our ambition basically is to enable lots of people around the UK and internationally to gain the instructor trainer accreditation just by adding you and trusting you, that you can go and teach other people, whether it's community outreach projects, so you're teaching teachers that way, or teaching your own staff. And we're enabling growth by osmosis and by community. We're still going to do our own instructor training. And Nitesh, who is at University of Wales, Trinity, St David, and I are still going to do our mass outreach, but there's now nothing stopping you doing your localized outreach, your localized engagement, or working on other projects depending on what your remit is. So if, for example, and I'm just going to pick this at random, the Welsh government decided it was going to fund teacher training, and Cardiff University, TW University of Welsh, Trinity St David, to go and teach Cisco instructors, ITN, SRWE, and stuff. Do it. Yeah, it don't require permission. It's now, yeah, a different scalable model. And if there was an international project where African Child Projects, which I know are part of this call as well today, received funding and development funding to teach teachers in Kenya or Tanzania, for example, the answer is go and do it. And if you want to bring in other educators who are qualified Cisco instructors that you've either trained yourself or acquired from elsewhere, you can do that as well if you want to. So now it's more or less going to be mission without permission, but obviously done under the auspices of the Open University ITC. We've got the ITC, we're happy to give it away under the right circumstances, basically for all our friends and our community. Historically, I mean, the OU is an outreach-based organisation. We do a lot of academic social responsibility, corporate social responsibility and knowledge exchange, and we have been giving away NetAcad for a long time. So, yeah, we have done a lot of work to break the pyramid selling scheme and the top-down model. So we have been giving away academy support for a long time, hence why many of you are here in this call today. And we've been giving away instructor training for free from 2017. So by doing an ASC light approach, we know that there's been growth for all of you and growth for many others as well. And basically, now we want to grow you, that you can grow others to grow yourselves and those around you as well. So if you're working on a project where you wanted to go and reach all the school teachers in the Lanarkshire area, sorry to pick on you, Brendan, but it's an easy and obvious observation, then you've got the tools to do that. So if you want to just get them all up to ITN, Introduction to Networking level, here are the tools to do it. And basically we're just saying go and do it, but don't worry about what else we're doing as well. So Nitesh and I, we will still be running our rolling free instructor training program, and that's designed as the mop-up activity for the mass outreach that we've been doing for years and we will continue to do. But that doesn't stop you then doing your own unique, local, bespoke, 1 week, 1 month, one year focused outreach. Our model's now designed to be very much roll on, roll off, so that as people come in, we've already had some people sign up late August and finish a couple of courses already because of the way NetAcad is now designed to make our lives a lot easier, and something we're exploiting at the Open University. And what we want to do is let you work out your own model. We trust you. This year we're treating very much as a try and test year. So if you've got an idea, go and do it, but please let us know about it. Not that we want you to ask permission, but we just want to learn from you as well. Find your own ideas, models, outreach modes or paradigms, and work out how you can develop other educators, whether it's you want to go to your entire computing team in your organization and just get them up to speed on NetSec, for example, so you treat it CPD with long-term career development opportunity, or we want you to, hello, sort of Spraggy's just joined us, or you want to then sort of work with others. And the beauty also is, because we're giving everybody in this call instructor and staff status, you can add other staff as well, other instructors. So if you've got another colleague that you've trained up and you want to add them as an instructor trainer later, you can do that and give them instructor and staff status. If you've recruited somebody that's come in and you want to add them and give them instructor and staff status as well, do it, okay? how would you like us to share the information with you? Just ping me an email. Yeah, all I want to know is what's going on, Elaine, just so that I know what's going on in the first year, just because it's try and test, not because I want to police it. So yeah, Andrew, yeah, it's a bit like, Andrew, I'm about to do this in the ITC. Fair enough. Or I might email you back and say, have you thought about this? Or would you like a hand? Or did you know that so and so is doing something similar? Okay, so I'm just trying this out for at least this year. So I think the best thing to do is to actually go and explore NetAcad. So I have literally got over here, and those of you that have been brought up in the United Kingdom for long enough, here is one that Nitesh and I made earlier. Okay, so on the right hand side, I'm actually in the ITC at the moment looking at a set of courses, and you can look at them as well because you've got staff status. You can go and look, but please do not add yourselves to these courses because it's myself, Nitesh, and our Gestalt entity Android managing these guys. Rob, that isn't one of your cats, is it?
It is.
Oh.
I just muted myself, sorry.
Happy birthday, by the way. But
thank you very much.
Yeah, and just meow back at your cat for me.
You know
that's you know this is being recorded, Robert.
Is it? Oh God.
Sorry, that provided entertainment. So after a brief interlude, Rob's cat, who is now going to be one of our instructor trainers, and probably more capable than some people I've met in the past. so Tiddle's the instructor trainer. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a course and show you a few bits and pieces because I think that will be the useful way of doing it. So when you create a course in an ordinary academy, whomever is trained in that course will only ever get student status. But if they are trained in an ITC, so obviously, you can do the drop down and you can search. And I'm just waiting for this. This is one of the bugs at the moment. NetAcad. I have typed. It takes a moment to load. Appreciate I've got lots of academies, but you can see it lists very gently under there, Instructor Training Center, obviously American spelling. And my advice is tick on the staff option. Okay. So I'm going to just switch back. So it's telling me which one I'm in. And then if you create a course in the Instructor Training Center, wait for the internet hamster, and then it's got to be instructor led for the accredited courses. And you can see here, that's quite interesting. Oh, it's blank template. So why has it given me suddenly blank template for the instructor led courses? And before it was allowing me to, so instructor led blank template. Sorry, instructor training. I should pay attention because now in the ASC and the ITC, you've got blank template courses as well, where you can build your own offerings. So that was my daft, but actually you saw how not to get trapped like me as well. So you see quite clearly instructor training, and you see the whole list of instructor training courses, because there are some organizations out there that want to do C and cybersecurity, but you can see also it shows there where it shows accredited, it's telling me that I am accredited to do that. Okay, obviously I've been in NetAcad for a long time, so I'm accredited for a lot of courses. But what I can do, and what you can do as staff, is also create a course if you're not accredited. So the facilitator functionality has gone away, but it's now being replaced by the support staff functionality. So I'm going to just pick a course where I know that there might be fewer people accredited. So I'm going to pick the DevNet Associate. So apologies if I'm going to randomly pick on you because I know you're not accredited, but this just helps prove a point here as well. So the start date can be today, but what is really wonderful with new NetAcad, and quite a few people are beginning to discover this feature, is that the course end date is not limited to a year anymore. So obviously the course content will soon become out of date, or will become out of date in 3 or 4 years' time, but you can create a much larger rolling course process, whether it's a student course or an instructor course. So I've just clicked on that. Nice long day. Definitely is an example. Obviously, you can edit it. This could be DevNet Associate for Welsh teachers, or for Scottish or Northern Irish teachers, or for African Child Projects, or whatever. And you can edit this just like you can edit any other course. I know now that I'm telling some of you how to suck eggs a little bit, but the beauty is you can really boilerplate this to your own design, your own desire. The only things that are static are the start date and the course primary language. And obviously you can edit this to actually add all sorts of useful information. So obviously I'm going to add an instructor now, and it will list all the instructors that are accredited. So I'm just waiting for the internet hamster to spin the wheel, and I can see straight away in my list of individuals all the people that I can pick. So I'm going to pick on Andy, and I am going to then add you because it's alphabetical, but then I'm going to add another instructor, and I'm going to probably pick on, let's just see what I get, because obviously I've got, so Brendan, I'm going to pick on you. I can see that you're not yet accredited because you've not done the DevNet training, but that is okay because then I can add Brendan as support staff. And by adding you as support staff, Brendan, then I can actually have Brendan acting as if he is accredited to teach my course. And if you have staff status, you can add any accredited instructor and add yourself as support staff. And the beauty is, then it will be as if you are teaching the course. You cannot create yourself as support staff without an accredited instructor because the platform will reject you. And you can also, I mean, I'm not going to pick on you personally, Andy, but I could make Andy the primary instructor as well. So if I'm working as a team, I can make other people primary instructors. Support staff have all the same statuses as the instructors that are accredited, but then whilst you are going off to do the training for yourself, you can actually then put put others through the training as well. And in fact, you could actually create the training for yourself in this course, and then go through and get yourself accredited, and then go and get others accredited as well. So there, as you see the logic. There's quite a few more freedoms in the platform as well. So obviously, Andy, myself, and Brendan, just because I've picked randomly, are going to be the instructors in this. I will delete this course in a little while. I am not going to enable WebEx because that means then I've got another way for lots of teachers to annoy me by asking questions on WebEx. And I know that some organizations block it as well. It's a great tool. It's just not useful for me because I don't want lots of people messaging me on several platforms. So I am very platform controlled in what I do. Then I click on next. You can see the template that all the instructor is going to say, and then I publish it, just like any other instructor or student course on the platform. I'll wait for the hamster, and then I'm just going to go to my classes, and you'll see the long list. But straight away, the great thing is you can actually invite. So if you've got a list on CSV, anything up to 20,000, let me know if you do more, only because I'd just be intrigued if you manage to do that. Might even buy somebody a beer. Yeah, but it works as a self-enroll link. And if I just open up this browser here, anybody who enrolls with that self-enroll link will get into that course. However, they can do the training and they can get accredited, but they cannot use that accreditation unless they have instructor status in an academy that's supported by an ASC. So do you see the slight catch there? So you need to make sure that they are getting the ASC's support as well. So whether it's UWTSD or the Scottish Academy or the Northern Irish or the OU ASC or other friendly, sensible ASCs out there. So that individual could become qualified, but they can't use it until that profile is in an academy with instructor status and it's in an academy that's supported by an ASC. So there is policing going on. It's just a lot more flexible now in its approach. So as soon as they sign up, whether it's via an established NetAcad email or a new NetAcad email, let's hope it's not because they're not an instructor, you can actually get them in. Or, of course, if it's a new email, and then you see their email in the gradebook, you can add them as an instructor to your academy. There's all sorts of ways around to actually skin this intellectual kitty cat. Rob, pun intended, by the way. Okay, and what's been introduced in the last 7 to 10 days is the ability to enter individuals manually and individually as well. And whereas it used to be one at a time, it is now, sort of several at the time. So I'm going to pick this one because this individual actually exists on the platform. Wait for it. There you go. Look, pre-populated it. So if it's already known, it'll pre-populate it for you. If it's unknown, you have to enter the first name and last name, which is actually quite useful because you can find out if people do at least have an account on the platform. It won't tell you if they're an instructor under the ITC, but it will tell you if they have an account. So adding individuals is quite straightforward. Now, what I'm actually going to do is actually play with the ITN course because this is very much here what one I played with earlier. And what you can do is you can actually have all sorts of interesting fun with this. So what we've started doing is putting messages up in the course. You've got this ability to create folders, assignments, announcements, and posts. This is a post. It's a very short inflow content in the assessment flow, and we're telling our candidates in our free training what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how they can do it. If you create what's called an assignment, and I will leave you to go and explore this, you can actually create resources. You can actually link to downloads, PowerPoints, PDFs, external content if you wish, and you can actually create your own content blocks using the assignment paradigm within this learning flow in the platform. And what I've also done is I've actually hidden some not required assignments. So if I actually go to view as learner and quickly just jump back to the learning flow, you can see I've hidden, even though it's deliberately, they can't open that, I've gotten rid of the PTSAs and some of the practice exams. Why? Just because they're distracting. Why? Because they're extra work. Why? Because I personally don't want them. It's your choice, but you can actually basically edit the flow and actually hide content from both your students and your trainee instructors as well as add flow, add content, add resources. The stuff you're adding still beta, so they haven't yet come out with an export function, but that will appear in due course. Sorry, I'm just waiting for the magic internet hamster to do its thing. Okay, there you go. Also, you'll notice there is this bulk edit items. Everything is switched off by default in an instructor-led, but then you can go in and activate it. And as you can see, I've created these rolling courses. Nitesh and I have created them only to end in 2059. if I'm around, I'll be 91 by then, and I really won't give a SHIT about Netcad by that point. Well, I don't know the way pensions are going. Who knows what might be happening? But I've activated all the exams, and you will notice once you've activated them to switch on, and you can activate them to switch on at any time you like if you wish. So if you want to sort of create it that it's a day or an hour and you're still doing in-class teaching of your instructors, which is fine, then you can activate it that. I've set these for instructor training unlimited attempts. For those of you that work with me at the OU, I've actually set up multiple attempts of 2 for a single attempt. Clever, really, because by doing that, if a student screws up on their single attempt, I don't have to reactivate. They can go in, but you can have single attempt as well, and you can actually give them different scoring methodologies. But for here, I've gone for a multiple, because this is the en masse free instructor training, and they won't get anything unless they get 70% anyway, because that's when the digital badge and the certificate of completion is generated. But what is also quite useful to see, and I'll just go back into the course that I'm working on as well, is in this recording, I have actually got quite an active grade book at the moment. So sorry, but I am going to show you 1 or 2 student grades. And I've got a lot of individuals in there, and I can already see them beginning to progress. And as you can see from the grade book, I've only got, I'm just going to move this very slightly, 426 candidates in. So what we have also discovered is to pass, a student must do the final. They must do the end of course survey, and you must mark them as complete. Okay, but to mark them as complete is a doddle. I just tick on that and then I mark them as completed. But you, at the moment, you can only do them 10 at a time. Okay, but there you go. I've marked all of those as complete, and eventually I could just click through and do that. So Natesh and I, with our en masse once a month, I'm just going to put on some headphones on, a bit of gentle heavy metal, and just go through, click, 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 select all, click, complete, select all, click, complete, select all, click, complete, which means that the passing criteria, you could actually, if you've got a whole group of students, and I know you've got a question, Rebecca, and I'll get to that in a second, you could mark all your entire group of educators as complete at the very beginning, and then the system will auto-complete them when they've done the final at 70 or greater, plus the end of course survey, which means then they'll automatically pass when it's done that. So rather than completing at the end again, tick, 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 you could actually complete them all at the beginning and let the system regulate them until the end of the course. Rebecca, you have a question.
I think you've just answered my question. So it doesn't matter that they've not completed the final. When you click them as complete, it will wait until they've reached the criteria and then do it for you.
I've tested it in the wild already.
Yay!
Yeah,
Good.
it's lovely. So for those of you that are OU tutors, we're going to be trying this out in January. So we were trying and testing, and let's say at the moment my only itch with this is you've got to mark 10 at a time, and then mark them as complete, and then move the screen on and mark them as complete. And that, but it's still better than it was, which was tick, 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 swear word, tick, 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 tick. It's another swear word, and it's a little, it's a little bit systematic and mindless. But I would love them. But I think I'm not going to ask too much of our friends at Cisco at the moment if they could at least change to sort of 50 or 100 on a page, because that would be so much better. But for the price of free, this is affordance. For those of you that are doing outreach with 10, 20, 30 students, instructors, mark them all as complete straight away, and then I'd say when this individual finally does that and then gets the right grade there, because they've got multiple attempts, the system will just go ping and generate, and they'll get their credly email badge. Well done, you've passed. And here's a certificate. Lots of love from Andrew and Nitesh, which makes life a lot easier. So my feeling is that the flow of this is going to be so much simpler. My feeling is for you as instructors, experienced instructors, and now instructor trainers via the Open University ITC, JFDI, just flipping do it. You want to go and train hundreds of Cisco instructors in the greater Lanarkshire region, or as part of Africa Child Project, or in Wales, or in Northern Ireland. You want to go and train your staff, or you just want to train a couple of mates. All of them are valid, and you don't need my permission to do it. So Rob, you have a question?
Yeah, this ability to mark people as complete,
yes,
in advance, does this work for students as well, in a normal student class?
Yes.
Fab. Excellent.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Can we then can jump in on that? Can we change the pass mark that it passes them at or completes them at?
I don't know is the honest answer. Cisco seem to be now very set on the 7th. You can probably mark them as complete, but it won't generate the badge until they get 70%. You probably can generate. I haven't tested where you could generate the certificate. I think the certificate will come from any attempt at the final, but the badge will come from 70%. But I will be frank and say I honestly don't know the answer because I haven't had enough individuals to try and test that with yet. Dave?
I'm looking at different sort of courses. How can you change the grade book so it shows the modules students have done rather than just the end tests?
Okay, so
like Python Essentials, it's just got PE1 assessment quiz, PE1 assessment quiz, PE1 assessment quiz, but can you change the label so it says chapter 1, 2, 3, or the lower level like digital awareness one? It just says the final exam. I can't see where like my lower ability students can change stuff, or is it because they're just
Dave, watch the screen. What I just did? Can you see that? If you've got
I don't have rights to do that. There's
okay. Are you doing the self-paced courses or the instructor-led?
Instructor-led.
Right.
No, self-paced.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay, David. I mean, obviously, this is an instructor-trainer course. This setup, if it's all self-paced, it's out of the box. You cannot change it. Okay. If it's instructor-led, it's out of the box, and you can do what you want with it. Okay. So if it's instructor-led, then you have to set up the activation for exams and all that kind of stuff. But you can then edit to your heart's contentment. Whereas self-paced, you've got no editing functionality whatsoever. It's designed to be very basic.
Thank you.
That's all right. So it's a say. And for instructor training and for accreditation courses like the CCNA, NetSec, CyberOps, and DevNet, it's only instructor-led. Therefore, it's totally editable and totally controllable. And I've pretty much got the admin now off to reasonable pat, where I reckon this platform is quite easy to set things up, even easier than the old Moodle platform, which wasn't difficult. So, my advice is play, try, and test. So, is there any other questions, good people? Looking for little hand icons to appear. Okay, Paul. Hello, Paul.
Yeah, it was just. It wasn't so much a question. It was just to say thank you very much. This has been great.
Thank you. There you go. Flattery will get you everywhere. You just want me to show you.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Show you the kind of love that Brendan's showing me, isn't it? It's all right. We do need to actually plan. We've tried a couple of times to head your way, and it's never worked so well. But email me, and it probably now won't be until early next year. But I'd love to, yeah, love to wander up and yes, see the true charms of Aberdeen, whatever they may be. Okay, but yeah, it's so basically to recap, you're now all instructor trainers. Play with it and work out what it is you want to do with it. So if you want to suddenly do a mass campaign where every teacher in your region, home nation, or on the planet is going to become a Cisco instructor, do it. If you just want to do it for 1 or 2 colleagues, do it. If you've got a different idea, do it. If you want to add colleagues, do it. It's basically, we just want you to try this out and to use this and in its best sense abuse this and help us find different ways where we're going to get more educators teaching Cisco, but for everybody's mutual benefit. So on that bombshell, I am going to stop the recording now, and that way then it's shareable.